Dear students, in the previous part we have discussed minimum deviation and conditions for minimum deviation, and in this part we have to discuss about the Prism formula and we have to derive Prism formula. Prism formula is karino aduga magi formula is derive tawsebko. Aduna Prism formula hairagadi akoina putoktoise relation between absolute refractive index of the material of the prism, that is glass ko aduga angle of prism and minimum deviation. Minimum deviation delta m lere, angle of prism capital A lere, aduga mu, that is absolute refractive index of the material of the prism. Makoi ahum dugi relation dunia makoi na prism formula ase adudi prism formula ase kamai derive tawdage se yengse ko. First we have to observe this ray diagram. There is a prism. Prism is the light ray passed on the core. The light ray is passing through the prism along the path PQRS. I is the angle of incidence on the first refracting surface AB. R was the angle of refraction on the refracting surface AB. R2 is the angle of incidence on the refracting surface AC inside the prism. E is the angle of emergence later. Delta is the angle of deviation later. That is angle between incident light ray PQ and emergent light ray RS. E is the angle of prism later. Mu is the absolute refractive index of the prism or material of the prism. Prism formula is a relation between mu, that is absolute refractive index of the prism aduga angle of prism capital A and minimum deviation delta m. Makoi ahum jigi koi the relation putoktoini adugi formula du akoina prism formula na haiduse. Aduna yan hana sigi figure is the uriba symbol myam je kari no hana koina define tawrasi aduga prism formula do kari no lakse ko. The prism formula je define the relation between absolute refractive index of the prism or material of the prism, angle of prism, and minimum deviation produced by the prism is called prism formula. Prism formula we may define prism formula like this. It is the relation between absolute refractive index of the material of the prism, that is mu, angle of prism capital A, and minimum deviation, that is delta m. It can be expressed as mu equal to sine of A plus delta m divided by 2 divided by sine of A by 2. Ladies and prism formula ni sine of A plus delta m divided by 2 delta m by 2 dilali A plus delta m 2 na divide tawgadaba aduga makadana angle of prism da 2 na divide tawbako ano sigi formula na koina prism formula harise ano sigi prism formula je sigi ray diagram sigi mateng na koi derive tawsebako ado derivation je exam du yamna toina khangi essay type da 5 mark per kanda. So here we may write like this: let ABC, small ABC, be the principal section of the prism of refracting angle capital A. A ray of light is passing through the prism along the path PQRS as shown in figure. I and R1 be the angle of incidence and angle of refraction formed by the incident light ray on the refracting surface AB. Sigi figure the urise sida small AB is the principal section of the prism. Prism gi marui ba mamai duni urise. Sigi incident light ray PQ is EB haiba first refracting surface form toba sagi angle of incidence na I lere adu angle of refraction na R1 lere ko. Next la na sagi R2 and E is na sagi angle of incidence and angle of emergence formed by the sagi light ray on the second refracting surface AC na la ko. Then next is small r2 and E. B, the angle of incidence and angle of emergence formed by the refracted light ray, that is QR, on the second refracting surface small ac. Delta B, the angle of deviation produced by the prism. Small r2 is angle of incidence formed by the refracted light ray QR on the second refracting surface AC. AC is the second refracting surface is QR refracted light ray inside the prism form to angle of incidence ni adu is na angle of emergence later. Adu delta is na angle of deviation produced by the prism, that is incident light rays na prism je form tom da kayam yamna sagi turn to we have do mamai leithokibado adu sigi angle delta je oire ko adu ji next la to isna koina Snell's law apply to on the first refracting surface EB the ko. Next we may write like this: applying Snell's law on the refracting surface AB, we have sigi first refracting surface AB is the Snell's law applying to on Snell's law matungina sine of angle of incidence divided by sine of angle of refraction R1 equal to constancy kari kaweda absolute refractive index of material of the glass. Hypothetical relative refractive index of material of the prism, that is glass, with respect to ear hypothetical. Our mu is represent absolute refractive index of material of the prism, that is glass. Generally, prism is made of glass. Snell's law formula equation number 1 just by the p by r. Next time karigumba sigi angle of deviation delta ja minimum oiraba minimum oige hargadi magi conditions kari lege bo ko mamangda ko tawibdo angle of incidence ka angle of emergence e ga managadaba aduga r1 ga r2 ga managadam neba similar again akoina mamangda ko derive the relation between delta capital A I and E ko delta plus A is I plus E gusumana giveni aduga capital A is R1 plus R2 gusumana ko hariba condition sing do koina sida lakadu ni ko aduna next time yeng si ko. So we may write like this: delta plus A equal to I plus E. Sigi magi relation di formula sida koi mamang derivation to urabani koina exam tare ko delta plus A is I plus E ga madare sina equation number 2 na koina pirasi ko. Then again atopa relation na formula na angle of prism capital A is R1 plus R2 sumana given. Sina equation number 3 na try to pirani ko. Then mathada la to sina karigumba sigi delta z delta m manaraba, that is when delta equal to delta m, that is minimum deviation, then I equal to E, that is angle of incidence, must be equal to angle of emergence E, and again R1 equal to R2, that is angle of refraction on the first refracting surface of the prism should be equal to angle of incidence on the second refracting surface formed by the refracted light ray inside the prism. Ado sigi R1 equal to R2 ga manarani, I ga manarani aba. Karukanda sigi angle of deviation je minimum deviation oiragadi ko. Aduna sigi condition je akoina sizinnarakanda sida equation number 2 da kamai lani delta multa delta m sinjalo. Delta z delta m plus A equal to audi sigi I e gi mota I sinjal ba yarane delta z delta m ga manaradi E se I ga manare audi I plus ID 2I tarane bas 2I I plus I ko 2I lani audi I se kya manare A plus delta m divided by 2 la. Then again equation number 3 is mulaji. Equation number 3 is the A equal to R1 plus R2 je akoina minimum deviation dadi R2 gi mukta R1 iba yarni R1 ka R2 ga manabane aduna R1 plus R1 lakanda 2R1 tare A equal to twice R1, so R1 equal to A by 2. Aduna angle of incidence se A plus delta m by 2 ga manare aduga angle of refraction R1 jina A by 2 ga manare sigi value je akoina ngasa mamang da pi ba equation number 1 do aduda sinjalo aduga prism formula fanganeba, that is equation 1 adi kaino sin I divided by sin R1 equal to mu haibido aduta sigi I ga R1 gi value je sinjala se aduga prism formula fanganeba ko. So we may write like this: putting the values of I and R1 in equation 1, we have mu equal to sine A plus delta M by 2 divided by sine of A by 2. Our formula is Prism formula na hairu ko. Our Prism formula is exam essay type the 5 mark the period hangi exam da aduna si fazana paro. Aduga sigi Prism formula apply to numerical problem solve open to numerical problem masam we yeng aduna sigi question an equilateral glass prism produces a minimum deviation of 30 degree. Calculate absolute refractive index of the prism. Aduna sita pirize sagi given an irasi sida 30 degrees minimum deviation that is delta M. Solution delta M equal to 30 degree later. Aduga equilateral glass prism angle of prism 60 degree whatever equilateral triangle equilateral has 60 degree whether the angle of prism 60 degree. The question that equilateral have y is pelamaba angle of prism do 60 degree level nebuko. That is absolute refractive index of material of the prism. Or the prism formula apply applying prism formula solve the last call. Say we have first last call mu equal to sine of A plus delta M divided by 2 sine of A by 2. What is this in the law? Sine of E have the 60 later call. Delta M have the 30 later call. 60 plus 30 90 is the call. 60 plus 30 is 90 degree divided by 2 la ni na. Aduga E sine E have the 60 degree call. 60 degree divided by 2 la ni. 90 by 2 di 45. Sine 45 degree later. Adusina sine 30 degree. Smile later call. Or sine 45 the value come tare 1 by root 2. Sine 45 the 1 by root 2 later. And sine 30 the 1 by 2. Only that is 2 divided by root 2. 2 divided by root 2 the root 2 tar ni ko. Aduna absolute refractive index of material of the prism is root 2. Root 2 the approximately 1.41 minus period suya ko. Sidan question suya na tagana approximately 1.41 minus period suya ko. So the minus swap stop